The Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. I'm a Jedi, like my father before me.
Hi everyone, Cade here, and just as a little forward to this video, I would like to personally apologize for the pretty poor quality of my audio in this review, and it's just kind of a warning to you guys. As I've said previously on other podcasts, I travel around for work, so I am not able to bring my normal recording stuff with me because my vehicle is already very full of the stuff that I need for work. So I had stopped at a Best Buy to try and find a headset that would produce some decent quality. I asked the person there for their recommendation. They recommended these, and I'm having a bit of a feeling that they weren't really sure on what to actually recommend. So I was stuck with these. In the future, I will try and have some better recording stuff for myself. But without further ado, let's get to the review. Hello, everyone. Cade from the Legends Library here, joined as always with Tristan.
Hello.
All right, and today we are reviewing the best Star Wars movie, which is unfortunate because I have misread my notes because we're not reviewing Return of the Jedi, we're reviewing The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, well, now I'm just disappointed.
Yep, I got everyone's hopes up, and I dashed them like an infant wall against a wall in the Red Keep.
Shit.
Yep. So
we're already dark.
Yeah, but yeah, no. So just going into this, for the sad backstory that made this movie even sadder for me. Every single movie since Revenge of the Sith, I have went to see either opening night or the second night with a group of my buddies that I've known since like the baseball team in like second grade. And this was the first movie that I didn't get to go do that because I was in the middle of nowhere for work, and I watched it on a 100% legal stream. I pinky swear.
Well, that's foolproof. I'm similar. I've watched every Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith on opening weekend until Solo. I think I saw Solo the third or second week after release because I just didn't care at that point. And Rise of Skywalker I saw 2 or 3 weeks after release.
Yes.
In theaters.
This definitely wasn't our typical terrible scheduling again.
Not at all.
No, we make a schedule and we definitely stick to it. We're professionals.
We're very punctual.
Very. Not like we had to reschedule this week already because I just forgot that we were doing it. But no, besides that, so like before going into everything, like just what were your overall thoughts about like the movie? Just like kind of like a big summary.
I thought it was entertaining until the ending. The ending, I don't think I've ever felt as empty coming out of a movie as I did with this one. But I think it was more entertaining. It was definitely more entertaining than The Last Jedi, which was just a really long chase scene. And I think Force Awakens was better.
Yeah, I can definitely concur with some of those points. Again, it was helped by I just got to watch it literally like lying down in a bed on my tablet.
You were comfortable.
Yeah, I was very comfortable. I didn't have to sit in like a theater seat. I could pause it and go to the bathroom if I wanted. And I went to the vending machine of the hotel I was in and got lemonade and popcorn. So it was basically the real thing. But yeah, overall, I did think it was an entertaining movie. I preferred it like a ton more than The Last Jedi, which isn't saying much because anything times one is still whatever it was. So
I agree.
Overall, there's a lot of stuff I don't like in this movie. And the few things that I do like were fairly few and far between. which eventually we will get to. But yeah, overall, definitely my favorite out of the sequel trilogy.
Aside from the ending, I can understand that.
Yep. We've talked about it a few times. Obviously, neither of us like The Last Jedi because
No.
yeah. And I find myself, I've watched The Force Awakens once, and when I was watching it, even in the theater after the initial hype had worn off, I found myself pretty bored. But I was not bored in this film. But I was also picking it apart in a group chat that you are in.
I remember that. I remember a lot of praise about Lando and not much else.
Oh, I can't wait to get to Lando. I'm going to talk for hours, literally just about Lando. But yeah, I mean, with that, we might as well hop in. Another thing that I completely actually forgot. I didn't. I went into this 99% spoiler, which probably helped me enjoy it a little bit more.
I came in completely cynical.
Yeah, I had to the group chat that we're in, for reference, because nobody is going to know the group chat we're in. Everyone was talking about the leaks. I had the group chat is literally my group chat that I made. I had to mute my own group chat because I was so scared of seeing leaks that I literally couldn't go into my group chat to tell the people in it to stop talking about the leaks.
For the last week up until the release, that was nothing. Nothing else was discussed in the group chat. It was just the leak.
Yeah, I had
which
it
turned out to be almost 100% correct.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but from what I've heard, the leaks were correct, which is why I don't read leaks.
I only read them because I didn't care. This is the first movie or TV show or anything I've actually looked at the leaks for because of how uninvested I am.
That's fairly understandable. That's one reason I didn't feel super bad watching a super legal stream.
Yeah, but if anything, reading them made the good parts stand out more because my expectations were so low.
That's understandable. Yeah, I suppose aside from our weird tangent on our group chat, the opening crawl, I'm sure you just hated right away. I got to read the opening crawl in Spanish. Luckily, the leaks had leaked the crawl, so I just paused it and quick found the title crawl. But it literally opens explaining that Palpatine is back and was alive, which you loved.
You like Dark Empire, I don't, so I have a problem with this conceptually. And then first line in the fucking movie is "the dead speak."
Yeah,
and they're just like, "Oh, okay, we're right here now." Palpatine's back, I guess. This is coming completely out of left field.
Yeah. Other than that, it opens up. And also, I had forgotten this or just didn't know it going in, but this takes place a year after The Last Jedi.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I completely forgot that, and while I was watching it, I'm because it's a movie, so obviously no one's gonna age, and one, no one except for Finn's gonna get a different haircut. So there's literally no distinction, which is always amazing and fun about movies. But no, it opens up with Kylo Ren murdering people on what apparently is Mustafar. We talked about this very briefly before we started recording. But yeah, Mustafar is looking very healthy for a lava planet.
It has trees now, I guess.
Yeah, I had made the comment before we started recording that these trees are absolutely the most metal trees ever. Most trees they sustain themselves off of photosynthesis and water. No, but these trees they must drink lava, which
lava
has no water in
their
it.
veins.
Yeah. If you cut down this tree, you will probably there's no maple sap in there. It's just more lava.
It's just hot sauce.
Yeah, and then but yeah, Kylo Ren kills a bunch of people.
I thought awkward slow mo.
Yeah, it was kind of, it reminded me of like 300, if you've seen that, like how they'll
I have.
randomly just like put slow-mo.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of 300, so the scene didn't do much for me.
Yeah, oh no, I'm not saying that makes it good. I'm just saying it
Oh no.
reminds me of it in like in a very weird way. Like that's kind of the last thing I would compare Star Wars to, would be like 300.
Well, now you have that comparison because
Yeah.
Kylo does weird moonwalk, backstab, thrust. That's like I don't know.
Yeah, and then but eventually he goes into what I like is obviously meant to be Darth Vader's citadel. From I don't know much about canon, but I'm assuming that first ever showed up in Rogue One. I'm assuming probably.
I think that's the first appearance. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it's kind of neat that they brought in something like from the spin-off film, which is it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Well, I actually looked it up earlier, and I don't think it's his citadel. I think it was taken from his citadel to some other place on Mustafar. Apparently, this is on the visual dictionary. I think.
Ah,
And,
I have,
some weird cultists are trying to fix Mustafar. They're going green, I guess, and tackling climate change. Uh,
not like they could just go to a Endor
Different
or
planet.
yeah,
um,
or Onderon or somewhere with more trees.
Literally anything habitable. But yeah. So he goes to find Darth Vader's Wayfinder, which is the first MacGuffin in this movie.
Yeah. Like why would Vader need this? Like, wouldn't it make sense that Vader would just have like the hyperspace coordinates to Exgol or
Oh no, we
Exgol?
need a MacGuffin. We need fetch quests so we can drag out the plot in the movie even longer instead of like developing actual shit that matters. Um,
Yeah, no, but yeah, it and yeah, he finds it and then goes to. Did they ever say it in the movie?
I think they do.
Is it Exgol or Exgol?
Exegol.
Exegol. Okay.
Exegol.
But yeah, he goes to Exegol and walks through a spoopy line of stuff.
Strobe lights and
Strobe lights, yeah,
epilepsy warnings.
yeah, yeah. Like thank God that neither like Han nor Leia had like a family history of epilepsy. But no,
Kylo
he
Ren just dies at the beginning of the movie.
yeah, I mean that'd be shocking. Like,
Oh,
but no,
surprise.
then the whole time he's doing it, like Palpatine's like just like chirping him, and apparently Palpatine made Snoke, which I I guess I didn't see it coming. I just thought Snoke was a guy, but nope, it's gonna be Palpatine made him, and Snoke was a test tube baby.
That's all we get on it. Like, we don't even know if Snoke was like a vessel for Palpatine's spirit or just somebody he created, made ultra powerful, and just set off to rule the First Order for some reason. I don't know. This movie has like essence transfer in it, but it's very bullshit. We can talk about it more later. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, the way I had figured it was that like Snoke was like made by Palpatine, obviously, and like I don't know if like part of Palpatine's like essence or something is in him, because like Palpatine says that he was every voice inside Kylo's head. So
Yeah,
like was that only when like Snoke was like talking to him like in Kylo's head, or
that's what I'm
uh
thinking.
yeah.
Which would be really awkward if like the actual Snoke didn't know that Palpatine was talking to Kylo, so Kylo just references something they talked about mentally, and then he's like, "I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about." Um,
He's just like, yeah, I remember when you yeah, I remember you ordering those wings. Oh yeah.
um,
But no, then he walks through there I think there were a bunch of like just robed people that were just doing stuff, like doing
messing
just
with tubes for some reason
messing with
still.
Snoke tubes, which never come into play. Like there were several like Snokes in a tube. They never come into play. They're never referenced besides like this part.
Yeah, no. After this, they're just gone.
Yep.
Get that
So
squared away 5 minutes in.
Yep,
Um,
episode 10. Snoke Strikes Back.
Oh God, just happening.
Yeah, and then eventually he comes to Palpatine, who's sitting in the world's largest chair, attached to tubes and stuff.
He's in
With
like this weird armature thing. He looks like Gladys from Portal.
I haven't played Portal.
He's just rigged to this giant lamp arm.
Oh yeah. Like he also looks like weird CGI.
Yeah,
Like he looks very weird.
I don't think
Like
he's CGI. He just looks like old Ian McDermott with white eyes. Like he doesn't have any of the Sith scarring. He's just old.
old. But yeah, no, I really didn't. I didn't like the way Palpatine looked the entire time.
I like the way he looks at the end of the movie, just not right now.
I don't. I all I can think of is screenshots and stuff that I've seen from the movie where he looks terrible, and that's all I can.
That's not what he looks like at the end of the movie.
But yeah, no. Then he.
Yeah.
They talk about how, well, basically just like Palpatine asks him to kill Rey, and some Star Destroyers pop out of the ground,
which he lifts with the Force, I guess.
Yeah, were like the crews of those Star Destroyers just sitting in there, just like Jay chillin', or like
in the ground for 30 years? I guess so.
They're there, but yeah, there's like I don't know how many. Did they ever say how many Star Destroyers there are?
I think they say tens of thousands or thousands at least.
Okay, so yeah, there's like a shit ton of Star Destroyers, and apparently they're just gonna sit there and do nothing instead of going over to like take over the galaxy.
Yes, because they have a weird nebula thing in one portion of the sky instead of like the planet's not even surrounded by the nebula, so I don't know why you can't just go around it. The plot demands it so.
I don't really know, but then Palpatine basically leaves off, and he's like, "Raise that," and then I literally like I didn't see that Rey was a Palpatine coming. Like I didn't, because I thought it was such a stupid idea that they wouldn't do it.
You think it's a stupid idea that Palpatine fucks?
Well, no, like Palpatine fucks, but. I don't know. We'll get into it later, but But then it's over to the Millennium Falcon, and they're like, it was very weird that they were playing Dejarik, because it seemed like such like a serious point of time, because they're on their way to meet a spy.
Just passing the time. I mean, it's more of just look at this nostalgia, which is a lot in this movie.
Yeah, that's very true. There was like a lot of in your face fan moments like that.
Even with the music too, because the only recognizable music in this is from the other movies.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, like nothing really stuck out at me that wasn't like previous like Redux music.
Mm-hmm. But we're introduced to Finn, Poe, Chewie, and I think is BB-8 with them or R2?
No, because BB-8's with Rey. Yeah, so R2's with them. But yeah, they meet with a spy. Well, they meet with a spy. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's the one time he gets to be happy in these movies.
But no, they meet a spy who tells them about a spy, and gives them like a message.
And they fly away.
Yeah.
And TIE fighters come to them.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked this part of the movie. I liked the chase. I thought it was fun. Like everything looked very well. I like Poe. I like Finn. So this
they have good chemistry.
And plus everyone had like fresh new clothes, so everyone was looking fresh.
Yeah, it's nice to see the characters actually interact with one another instead of being separated.
Yeah, no, I liked
Uh,
I liked that they were a group this time through. That's one of the pros I have for the film. Because even once they split up, really the only people that split off is Rey.
Yeah,
And then eventually, like for the final battle, obviously they're all doing their own thing because
yeah.
but, you know, I liked the character dynamics between like the main cast. Like they all worked very well.
Throughout the entire movie, I agree.
Yeah. And then so basically, like of course it's the first act, so they get away from the TIE fighters because you know they're TIE fighters. They're useless.
And they have light speed skipping. And it's very convenient because they just end up like right in the middle of planets, in front of obstacles, but can just live somehow.
Yeah, I didn't. This new trilogy really likes messing with hyperspace.
Yeah, it does. It's just one plot convenience after the other.
Yeah. So then,
We could have more.
yeah, and then the next world, and I only know this because I have the synopsis that I'm scrolling through to help me out with some of the stuff I don't quite remember. Is Ajan Kloss, which I'm probably pronouncing really stupidly.
It's Yavin.
It's a jungle planet, so
It's Yavin 4.
it's either Yavin 4 or like Onderon. But no, so they're at a resistance base, and Rey is doing Jedi training. But she's bad at meditating, and I remember she falls down.
No, she doesn't even fall. She
No.
levitates slowly to the ground after doing a backflip midair.
Oh, I thought she fell.
No, and she has like boulders floating around her or something.
I remember the boulders, but I don't remember a backflip.
Yeah. She just slowly rotates like she's underwater or something, and she's trying to contact the Force ghosts of the Jedi past or something.
Ah, my favorite part of the Christmas Carol.
And they're not talking to her for some reason. I don't know. This all comes out of the field. I don't even know why she's trying to contact the ghost. It's never explained, as far as I know.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. But yeah, then her and Leia chit chat, and she takes Anakin's lightsaber, which apparently wasn't fucking exploded and broken in half. And
it has like flex tape around it. There's like a black metal piece forging the two pieces together again because Rey can't make lightsabers apparently.
Well, not yet.
But lightsabers reforged.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Again, it probably was down to the fact I was watching like a 4, like I'm pretty sure there were 4 pixels on screen at a time.
120p, perfectly legal live stream.
Yeah, like very legal, definitely not from someone's like iPhone at the back of like a Chinese movie theater. But no, then she goes and runs around and does training and like starts getting shot at by a training droid, and it's very obvious that Rey doesn't have block 1 because she starts getting shot and gets kind of grumpy about it and has a vision about basically, I mean, it's a Force vision, so it shows her all the important stuff she needs to know because it's a Force vision. That's what they're there for.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever are a main character of a Star Wars movie or video game or book or comic, just have a Force vision. It's gonna tell you everything that you're gonna need to know. But no, I'm pretty sure that does it show her Han Solo dying?
I think so.
Yeah.
It plays a different clip every fraction of a second, so I don't know.
Yeah. But obviously
is this Kylo Ren trying to contact her?
Yes.
By touching the Vader helmet?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He's trying to Skype her.
I like that. That was cool. I just like him interacting with like Vader's helmet, using it as kind of like a conduit to like increase his power or something to contact Rey. And they do the flashes through the previous movies or whatever. You can even hear Darth Vader say "Join me" or whatever, like he does in Empire.
Yeah, I do remember that now that you say that. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a Force vision. Force visions are usually neat.
I think they're always cool. I don't remember an instance of a Force vision not being cool.
I didn't like the one in Force Awakens because it was a little too jump scary for me, and I got a little spooked because I have the constitution of a 5-year-old.
Shit, I forgot. You are terrified of
I jump so easily.
everything.
That's probably the biggest pro about this movie is there was nothing that like made me jump.
Kate can't watch The Force Awakens because Kylo Ren scares him in the vision.
Yeah.
Around a tree.
Yeah, I probably pissed my pants in the theater when that happened. I hate all forms of like scary, jumpy scares or anything.
But Rey has the vision or whatever, and then I think I'm using my memory mostly here. She like panics and cuts down a tree on top of BB-8 or something.
No, she beats up the she uses her staff on the remote, and then a tree falls on BB-8. So
Yeah, well somehow a tree falls on him.
yeah, and so she gets him out from the tree, returns, and she tells Leia that she can't use Anakin's lightsaber for some reason, like because she was I don't know. She's basically just saying like I'm not worthy of the lightsaber. I can't use this yet, which doesn't make sense because she hasn't had a problem using it until now.
And she gets it back 5 minutes later.
Yeah, pretty much. And then as she goes about studying and stuff, the Falcon comes back and basically Poe and Rey get in like a pissing match because Poe's taking crappy care of the Falcon and Rey's taking crappy care of BB-8. I like this interaction. Like even still, like I haven't been like the hugest fan of Daisy Ridley's acting, but like I thought her and Oscar Isaac played off each other really well in the scenes that they were together.
No, me too. They're easily the best part of this movie, and they're the most consistent part too.
Yeah, and they aren't relegated to shouting people's names the entire time.
Yeah, Finn a little bit. he does the second act. He does.
Yeah.
Poor man.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate because I really like John Boyega. He's a very good actor.
And his character conceptually is really interesting. He just gets relegated to saying Rey for 3 movies.
Yeah, then
they're like, hey,
Poe wants Rey to be like out fighting, even though she's only had a year of Jedi training.
Oh yeah, that's
from Leia, who like didn't finish her Jedi training.
I don't even know why Leia's tutoring her. She already knows more than Leia, apparently.
Well, because it's a Star Wars movie. You got to have a mentor, and apparently they didn't use like Luke's Force Ghost or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and then in this, it's been like what 30 years since Leia's even trained as a Jedi.
Well, it would be less than 30 years because isn't
25?
Yeah, because Force Awakens is 30 years after Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like probably like 20, yeah, like somewhere between probably like 20 and 30, between like 20 and 25 years since Leia's done anything.
It's been decades.
It's been decades, except for the one time that she survived space.
And so she's doing her thing there, and Poe says you should be out fighting with us because you're the best chance we have, and he's not wrong, because Rey's an outstanding pilot, and she's also very strong with the Force, apparently.
Yeah, she's apparently she's the greatest like fighter ever. But at the same time, that's always my favorite thing about movies and stuff is that like of course like they need the main character out fighting because it's the main character.
Yeah, it's just. I'm glad she's training now too. It's just, why is it the third movie that this is happening?
Yeah, but yeah, and then they confirm and have a little like round table about Palpatine being back, and they ask how he comes back or how he's still alive, and then Mary from Lord of the Rings just spouts
I
off a
was
bunch
gonna
of
say the
stuff.
same thing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's Sith alchemy, or maybe it's clones or whatever.
Cloning. Ooh.
Oh God, I wish they would have said it was clones.
That's it. That's it though. Like earlier, we didn't mention this, but the only line of dialogue Palpatine gives for how he survived
Oh
was
yeah,
the
is
line from Episode
yeah
3.
yeah.
So we have no idea how the hell he's alive, and it's never explained ever.
No, it never is. I like the silly little animated thing where Palpatine just lands on a planet, and
I love that so much.
I've watched it like probably 100 times. It's the most like dumb appealing to like my basest level of humor, but God, it is funny.
Me too. I'm just going to take a little nap.
Oh no, you're the you old sponge. You look terrible.
That's a very good impression.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Like, total tangent, but like, New Year's Eve, I was out at a party with a bunch of my friends, and we watched that video, not exaggerating, probably at least 5 times in an hour.
I would have too.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
glad to.
When are we going to review that? That's what we should be reviewing.
Oh, we could talk for 2 hours about it.
2? Maybe 2 dozen hours. But yeah, so they talk about how apparently they know about Exegol, like, right? Is that right? Like, they just throw that out there?
Find the way to get to Exegol. No, Rey read a book, and she's like, hey, this page that I just happened to turn to just so happens to have a wayfinder on it, so we might need this to get to Exegol or something.
Yes, because it would definitely make sense for the ancient Jedi texts to have Sith wayfinders and Exegol.
I think apparently it's Luke's notes or something.
Ah,
he was looking for it.
Okay, that's right.
We'll talk about that clusterfuck later.
But yeah, so they talk about how they need to go and find it, and they go to
Tatooine.
They get no, it's Pisana.
Jakku.
Klaatuine.
They go to a desert planet to find the next MacGuffin, our Sith dagger.
Well, they go there to meet a contact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And yeah, that's what the synopsis says.
I don't remember this at all. This movie hits you with so much and so fast, so you don't even get to think about anything.
It's kind of funny that The Last Jedi, the movie that didn't need to be the longest movie, has that runtime. I would much have preferred that this film that has all this stuff that it wants to do would get, like, how long was The Last Jedi? Like 2.5 hours?
I thought this movie was longer than The Last Jedi.
No, I'm pretty sure The Last Jedi is still the longest movie.
I thought Rise of Skywalker took the title. I could be wrong.
Oh, I could be wrong. Okay, it's probably because The Last Jedi just felt longer.
And that's also true. God.
All right.
But they're looking for a contact or something, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I just looked it up. The Last Jedi is longer by 10 minutes. So I guess watching this, it just felt shorter, which I guess is a much better thing than it feeling long. But yeah, they go there, and well, apparently it goes back to Kylo because he gets his helmet back.
Yeah, for some reason, his character arc with his helmet, I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, it's a very love-hate relationship with the helmet.
Yeah. It's conflicted, just like him.
Yeah. But then they have a meeting with Hux, and pretty sure his name is Pride, right?
Yes.
Generals who, for some reason, are in charge of Space Forces, which is it's bothered me ever since Episode 7. But such is life. I don't know why. I don't know why they couldn't just say Admiral.
I guess it's like the same role as Grievous or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but at least Grievous went on the ground.
Yeah, the First Order has like no world building whatsoever aside from being baby stealers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kylo, he's found the spy and then figures out from finding the spy, because presumably the spy would have told him or something. I don't know. That there is a spy, so there's lots of spying. Um,
Spy subplots. We have to.
yeah, then I remember they're talking about how the Sith like troops are like like one of the guys doesn't want them.
Oh,
And
the board meeting.
yeah, they're having the board meeting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
actually really
Hux
like
is there, and see, I actually didn't like the scene because they made it so obvious that Hux was the spy. Because spoiler, Hux is the
that
spy.
is true.
Because like when they're talking, I think Kylo's like, "Oh, there's a spy like in our fleet," and the camera just sits on Hux for like 5 seconds, and I'm like, "Oh, it's Hux.
It's Hux.
It's Hux."
Yeah, it makes complete sense. And they introduced General Pride too, who's the only competent person. No,
Yeah, because Hux is a good guy, so
he's the only living competent person, I guess. Kind
yeah,
of competent.
yeah, because then there's a guy who says that he doesn't like the Sith like forces because like they're a cult basically, and then
Which
Pride
is
is
fair, I guess.
what's that?
It's fair, I guess.
Yeah,
Why should we trust the Emperor?
yeah, I mean that's very true. But then Pride has a much more pragmatic approach of like they have like a bajillion star destroyers.
Yes, let's team up. And
Yeah, and then
the other guy protests a little bit. He's like, what do they want in return?" And Kylo just flings him onto the ceiling.
yeah, and then that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
But
I do like Kylo in the scene though. For the first time, it feels like he's actually intimidating. Force Awakens.
I can't really relate because just having seen Kylo without his mask on in like the first movie, it's
I
robbed
don't
him
want to
of
be mean.
any intimidatingness.
Conceptually, he's imitating it. He's intimidating here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But no, then over to Tatooine, Jakku, Geonosis, Klaatuine. What other desert planets are there?
Ryloth.
Ryloth.
This is like number 6 or something.
Yeah, Star Wars just has
Popular
like
media.
it has a fetish for desert planets.
Yeah, apparently.
Which is terrible because I've never been to a desert, but I just can't imagine that. I hate the idea of deserts.
They're putting every poor cast member in these locations.
But no, they go there and the locals are having like a neat like festival in the middle of a war, I guess.
Yeah, well, we don't even know the scale of this war, so
That's actually
let them be happy,
true.
Kate.
Yeah, so then Rey gets a necklace from one of the little kids. And then this
really
is where
forced dialogue about her last name.
Yeah, because one of them, well, it's 3PO is obviously translated, and he's like, "Oh, he asked you your name," and she's like, "I don't have a last name." Yeah,
She says like Ray, and then 3PO's like, "She would be honored to know your family name as well." I'm like, "Oh, okay." She doesn't have one.
Yeah. Which that's actually one thing that I did like from The Last Jedi. Like one of the probably I could count on my one hand that like things that I liked. I liked that Rey was not like an important like bloodline.
The only reason I wanted her to be a part of one was to explain or like try to go in the direction of explaining how she was able to do all this shit so quickly.
Yeah, I didn't care because I just liked that kind of plot beat of like her family's not important, which definitely won't get undone in the next hour. Definitely not. But no, at that point, Kylo teleports and grabs her necklace.
He himself doesn't teleport. He like teleports the necklace when he grabs it. They can interact with one another.
Oh
and
yeah, they
like
can definitely interact with one another via teleporting or
and like take
moving
stuff
stuff.
off of the person or like move stuff around apparently.
Yeah, I absolutely hated this. I didn't like it at all. I hated the teleporting. It it didn't make sense. They don't explain it. It just happens.
From a
I
lore
really
perspective, I
I
hate
really
it. From a
yeah.
visual perspective, I think it's really interesting.
I didn't even
Um,
like it. It came across as kind of cheesy when I was watching it, anyways.
in your 180p live stream, uh,
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I don't even think watching it on like a decent screen would help that. I thought it was a little cheesy. I didn't care for it, lore
yeah,
wise or visually wise.
the Force does some wacky shit in this movie. Um,
The Force does some wacky shit.
so
Yeah,
he
so they
takes
have
the
a little.
beads.
Yeah, they have a little back and forth. And Kylo's like, "Well, I'm gonna turn you to the dark side."
It's like, oh, we haven't been here before.
Yeah,
um,
and then yeah, as they're getting back together, some stormtroopers who are apparently already there. Like,
yeah, they
wow.
mentioned they have patrols in this area sometimes for some reason.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that.
I don't
But
blame them.
yeah,
Um,
they get shot by the literal best part of this movie,
an
like by
arrow, um, from like you said, the literal best part of this movie. Um,
because it's Lando.
yeah,
Oh my God, Lando was so fresh in this movie. Like, wow, he looked like he looked like $1,000,000. I follow Billy D. Williams on Twitter, and like he's out there like in the gym doing leg presses every day, and
damn.
it was awesome. I like I like marked out when Lando came on the screen because that's one of the things that I was excited for this movie because Lando is probably my favorite like secondary character in all of Star Wars. I love Lando.
He's not my favorite secondary character, but I really do like him.
Okay, probably not favorite secondary character, but like out of the original trilogy,
Yeah.
like and probably the prequels as well, he's definitely like my favorite character, secondary character.
Billy D's just happy to actually be invited to come back to Star Wars for some reason. Ninth movie because they killed everybody else off. They're like, shit, we gotta bring back Lando. It is really nice seeing him in this, though. I just wish Han was alive to interact with.
Yeah, that would have been really nice. I think I'm trying to think of Star Wars stuff that Billy D has done, and all I can think of is the Lego movie.
He was in Rebels.
That didn't happen.
That's fair.
You're literally making things up. Please
I
please
mean,
don't
Dark
try.
Times.
Uh, oh, he was in Jedi Outcast, the second Jedi Knight game, and he's also in the super awesome, super cheesy Dark Empire audio dramas.
He usually jumps at every opportunity to work as Lando.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lando. Apparently, not everyone loves Lando. Because if I was in charge of Lucasfilm, it would be Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Lando.
I agree.
And it would just be him, I don't like picking out 2 hours. It would just be 2 hours of Lando picking out what cape he's gonna wear.
I agree that this I would watch that. It would probably be more
Yeah, but like
reasonable movie.
yeah.
Speaking.
But no, so they have a little chit chat, and he explains that there are only 2 wayfinders, which is it's kind of weird that Lando knows that. Oh no, because he went on a mission with Luke to find them.
Speaking of, has he been here the whole time?
That would be well, because I had assumed that like he was the contact that they went there to meet. So
That makes sense.
he went there to meet them.
I missed the whole contact thing.
Yeah, so he goes about how him and Luke were tracking down a guy who they thought knew where one of them was. But yeah, he gives them directions to this dude's ship, which is in the desert, apparently, because this guy just left his ship and
Just in the
died.
middle of the desert. It's been like 20 years.
Yeah.
And the ship's just perfectly intact.
Yeah, so then the First Order, like the First Order, not just a couple stormtroopers show up, and so they start, abusing the locals because they're evil. And then
chasing the main heroes.
The chase scene, really not a good chase scene. It's really, well, granted, it's hard to be a chase scene in Star Wars and have to come after the Endor speeder bike chase.
Fair.
And this, it was not, because they are flying straight through a desert.
Very visually interesting.
Yeah, no cool spins or jukes or anything, and they fly. They fly now. They fly now. One of the worst lines that I have heard in a Star Wars movie. Up there with, like, the worst of George Lucas prequel dialogue.
Yeah.
Because how would you not know that some troops in the First Order would have jetpacks? In this galaxy of jetpacks, you have ships that can go faster than light, but it would never occur to you that the stormtroopers might one day have a jetpack, and then they're dealt with because it's the good guys. Also, just one random thing, I absolutely hate the design for Rey's blaster. I hate it. And that's a big problem that I have also with the First Order stormtroopers. I hate their blasters as well because they literally look like Nerf guns.
I don't think they look that bad, but I don't like the weird silver attachments and white attachment they have on top of it. They look almost like 3D printed instead of. Originally, Star Wars blasters are like mishmashed World War II.
Yeah, guns. They're World War II guns. Yeah, because in the OT, they fucking shot blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just have they like mixed parts. I can't remember the name of it, the technique, but they use it in all sorts of things. Like in Alien, they use it to make the motion tracker pops. It's very interesting. But
I think the term you're looking for is mismatch. That's probably not the actual term.
I don't think so, but I will go with it.
Yes, yeah. But no, so they get away from them, and then they fall into they go into like quicksand.
Yes.
But the quicksand just brings them into a cave.
Yes.
And it just so happens to be the cave where there's I don't remember what the creature looked like, but there's a creature down there. Thankfully it wasn't
worm.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't a jump scare.
Snake.
Yeah,
and the Raptors.
The Raptors absolutely scared me when they showed up. But this did not. This is where they establish force healing, I think, for the first time in the, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you want to go over your thoughts on force healing now?
It doesn't bother me that she can force heal because force healing is obviously like established. Like healing like the worm lizard, like that's fine. What was wrong with it? It had like a rock in it or something.
It was like really scratched up, and it had like cuts on its side or something.
Yeah, it's basically just the mouse and the lion, basically.
Yeah.
But no, like her being able to use force heal didn't bother me. Healing up, lizard scrapes, yeah, that's fine. And I do like that that everyone, like, basically except her, like, their first thing was like, oh my god, shoot this. So I kind of like that it kind of shows like some Jedi training that like violence isn't the first answer. I really liked that.
I like it too. I wish they would explain that healing is supposed to be really rare.
Yeah, unless it's you're playing KOTOR, then everyone can do it.
Yeah.
Rey just played KOTOR, obviously.
But with this, it feels more comparable to Dark Transfer than it does healing. Especially later with like the extent of it.
Oh, the extent, yes. Oh my god, the extent. But yeah, we'll get to that. So then they kind of wander through the caves and just so happen to find this dude's ship.
Well, they find the dagger in his bones
Yeah,
first.
Yeah, because this guy just had the dagger, but it has the Sith language on it that 3PO recognizes, but can't translate it because
It's illegal.
it's illegal.
Yeah.
Not like was owned like by a former smuggler for, however long Han and Leia were together, or
And
like
was a Jedi droid for a while.
yeah, but nope, it's illegal because they needed to, figure.
Tangent, really quick. C-3PO is great in this movie. I loved him.
I liked C-3PO in it.
I wish everybody else wasn't so mean to him,
I
but I really liked him.
I agree. I liked him in this movie, but we can't get into it because the internet will crucify me. But I have this thing where I really don't like Anthony Daniels. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I don't like Anthony Daniels. I like C-3PO, don't like Anthony. And it's for weird, totally, literally, I'm probably the only person who feels this way reasons, and I don't want to get into it because I will get crucified by the internet.
DM me later, we'll talk about it.
Oh, we'll talk about it, after we're done recording.
I don't think it's that unpopular. Maybe your reason.
Oh, my reason is, I guarantee, but yeah, this is a weird tangent. Yeah, no, 3PO was very good in this movie. I really liked it. Besides one line that we'll get to soon. But so they find it, and they get cornered, because I'm reading the synopsis again. They get, the snake thing happens after they find the dagger.
Yes.
And
snake, and then the snake opens up the cave so they can get out.
Yes. And then the Force, Rey basically just senses Kylo in the Force, and she runs off. Oh god, I hate this scene.
Wait, before we go there, I should bring up now that we talked about this. Luke couldn't find this dagger, and this is why he gave up on trying to find Exegol.
Oh.
Yeah. So they just go down to the quicksand and find it right there. I don't know why Luke didn't look in the suspicious quicksand right next to the ship, or why he couldn't sense the Sith artifact, but not explained.
Because he probably threw a rock at the quicksand, and he's like, "Oh, that's quicksand. If I go in that, I'll die." That would be stupid if it led to a cave system. That wouldn't even make sense.
So, just shit stopping on Luke more.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So they find all
ship.
Yep.
And it's really dusty, and we're introduced to Dio, who is voiced by J.J. Abrams.
Oh yeah, that's right. The other ball droid.
Yes, the wheelie guy, whatever.
Oh yeah, he's a wheel, not a ball. No, I'm an idiot.
He's cute, I guess.
I didn't. It could take him away if he's one of those things. If they had completely removed him from the movie, nothing would have changed.
It would change actually, because they plug him into a computer later, so it can tell them exactly where Exegol and how to get there.
Not like they have a billion other droids that could have done that.
Well, I mean, this is an exact readout. So Dio completely circumvents, as far as I know. I could be misremembering, but he completely circumvents the need for Wayfinder.
I don't remember that.
It's how the Resistance knows how to get there. Since Rey ditches them and goes to Octo later. But anyway.
Very true. But yeah, no, so then the really bad scene happens.
The Knights of Ren park right outside the ship.
Yep.
And just stare at our heroes.
Pretty much.
Until Rey walks away because she senses Kylo.
She doesn't walk away. She sprints away.
Oh, okay, she sprints away.
She is absolutely just booking it through a desert. And Kylo Ren is flying directly at her in a straight 90-degree, straight on at her, or 180-degree. 90-degree would mean there's a turn. I'm bad at math.
He's about to ram her down.
he doesn't shoot her because it's not like he has blasters. He doesn't fly up in the air. He skims along the ground. And then Rey turns around, starts running away. And at this point, I honestly thought that they were going to have her use force speed that was so fast that she could outrun a TIE fighter. And I was like sitting, and then I remembered that the teasers were a thing, and I'm like, oh, thank God, she's just going to do a flip. So she does a flip and pokes the TIE fighter, and it
pokes it.
Just gives it a poke, and then it crashes.
Yeah, and
Kylo survives.
Yeah,
because apparently 2019 was the year of Star Wars antagonists fucking crashing their TIE fighter, but living. Because it also happens in The Mandalorian. Yeah, Kylo Ren is just completely fine. But then, so Rey gets back to the ship. Chewie has been captured along with the dagger. The Knights of Ren, the First Order, start flying away. Rey, with barely any effort, grabs a freighter.
That's the thing, and this happens later too. When Daisy Ridley is using the Force, her face is blank every time.
Which, I mean, I guess could make sense because you have to concentrate to use the Force and all that, but pretty much everyone else strains to do anything. Yoda, I guess Yoda wasn't really straining to lift the X-wing, but he had his eyes closed.
And he sighs afterwards.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, this is a total weird tangent. I thought he was sighing because he was just PO'd at Luke. He's like, you
That's
stupid idiot. Yeah,
that might be it.
That is why you fail. But Rey grabs it and is just pulling it towards them. And apparently the First Order, don't think to, shoot her or anything.
No. She doesn't think to crush the engines or rip those off or.
Well, then it would fall to the ground. Oh, but she has it in the Force, duh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she's pulling it towards them, which doesn't make sense because then once she lets go, they could just take off again. But then she fucking blows it up
with Force lightning.
Out of the blue.
She accidentally uses lightning from her fingertips.
Yeah. And blows it up. I thought, honest to God, that they killed Chewbacca off screen. And I'm pretty sure I sent a expletive-filled message to the group chat.
Oh shit! I wish I would have screenshotted all of these.
We really should have. Yeah, because I basically live streamed my reaction to this group chat that we're in.
So Chewie's apparently dead because Rey can use Force lightning somehow. Advanced Force abilities. We don't see Darth Maul use it. We don't see Darth Vader use it for a plethora of reasons.
Yeah.
Dooku uses it, who just before using it says, "I've become more powerful than any Jedi, even you."
Yeah. It was very weird that she used that specific Force power accidentally, because I can't think of any accidental Force power usage.
The only example that comes to mind is the Ultimate Sith edition of The Force Unleashed, where Luke uses it.
Yeah, but he doesn't use it accidentally.
Yeah, he just blasts him with lightning that he just conjures. But I don't. How are you gripping something and they get so angry you shoot lightning at it?
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So she's mourning. They get on the one guy's ship and start getting away. And Rey's obviously sad because she thinks that she just yeeted Chewbacca out of existence.
They just Finn's like, it's not your fault or whatever. They just leave.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because they need to. Because C-3PO has in his memory banks the dagger.
Yes.
So they need to get into his stuff and hack his droid brain. And this is where Dio shows up. Yeah, they go to Kijimi. which is a snowy planet, but not snowy tundra like Hoth. It's just snowy.
Yeah, I do actually like Kajimi. It reminds me of, not Winterhold, the Stormcloak city in Skyrim. It has like stone structures and it has snow all over the place. It's neat. I like it.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name either.
Windhelm.
Oh, that's it.
But they land there. They're all disguised and stuff, and the First Order's doing patrols in the area.
Yep. And this is where we're introduced to the Power Ranger.
Yes. Zori Bliss.
Yes, this is one of the few character designs that I didn't like because it's just a Power Ranger.
Honestly, I saw a comparison between the two, and the similarities are staggering. She looks so much one specific Power Ranger, especially. But
yeah, literally,
this is probably the most rushed character in this entire thing.
Oh yeah, she shows up and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Poe used to be a spice runner, and he owes me money."
And I hate Poe. And
Yeah.
then 5 minutes later, she gives him the only way off the planet.
And then they fight some First Order troopers, and then Zori Bliss is like, "Yeah, no, yeah, fine, I'll take you to this guy who can hack a droid." So they go to
the Knights of Ren are tracking them.
Yes.
Just more staring and stuff. They're very intimidating.
Yeah. They have some very good eye drops to be able to stare for so long. So
Zori shit, Cade. Zori takes the best part of this movie. Babu Frick, who is a droid mechanic and is gonna switch out 3PO's memory so it can read Sith.
Well, he can already read it, but so he can tell them.
Yes, so he can speak Sith.
Yes.
I don't. Why are protocol droids allowed to read Sith but not speak it?
Because
okay,
whoever designed them was like, oh, what if they made a movie where this protocol droid needed to read this language out loud to someone, but they can't. So they go to Babu Frick, and I swear to God, I thought he was speaking Spanish. Like, it sounded so much like Spanish to me.
He speaks basic sometimes, and it really threw me off because I was trying to listen hard, and he was saying words, and I couldn't understand what he was saying.
See, I was trying to remember back to high school Spanish to see if he was saying actually was Spanish. I doubt it was.
No.
But no, it sounded like Spanish. So, but yeah, he hacks in, and they have this little caveat of, oh, if you want the message to be read, we'll have to also wipe 3PO's memory.
Is this the line you were talking about?
Yes, this is the line. This is the line because everyone's like, oh no, we can't do this to C-3PO, and then C-3PO volunteers himself, and he has the terrible line from all of the trailers, "I'm taking one last look at my friends," that he's known for a year. 1 year.
You have spent 3 minutes of screen time across all three of these characters.
Yeah, no, he's existed for at least 90 years. Right? No. 60. He's existed for 66 years, because I was remembering, because apparently in the new canon they changed everything from BBY to Star Killer or something. So yeah, so he has existed for at least 66 years, and apparently these are now his BFFs.
Because all of his friends are dead.
except Leia and Lando. Well, he never meets Lando. Yeah, he meets Lando in the movies. Yeah, Chewbacca's still alive. Well, Chewbacca's there.
Does he meet Lando in this movie?
No.
Because Lando just ignores him in the other one, so he doesn't have much of a relationship with him.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so they do it, and everyone's all sad about it, and it
Oh,
gives
no, I'm
them.
retarded. He does talk to Lando in this. He's like, "This is Lando Calrissian," and they're like, "Yeah, we know who it is, 3PO."
Yeah, I did like the little comedy bits after 3PO's memory wipe. I'm glad they made this supposedly touching moment into a joke,
Dude,
which I
it was
actually don't
never.
care about because
Yeah,
I liked it. It worked good.
it,
It worked well.
the touching part doesn't work at all. So I embrace the comedy part.
Yeah, no,
It does.
because again, C-3PO is very good in this.
Yeah.
So he wakes up completely empty, and says funny things because Babu Frick is now his best friend.
Yes. I am Babu Frick. It's nice to meet you, brother. And he says later, one of my favorite lines in this movie is him saying, "Babu Frick, he's one of my oldest friends."
Yeah, no,
He's been
like
active for like a day.
yeah, like the writing for 3PO was like the strongest it's been since the OT in just this movie.
I agree.
So yeah,
He's
then
actually in this movie.
that's true. Yeah. But then outside, Red Ranger and Poe are talking about how they used to be friends, and then she gives Poe a captain's medallion because apparently a gold coin is going to get them through a fleet or
Apparently,
through the security and everything.
if only Qui-Gon Jinn and Queen Amidala had a coin, they could have
Yeah.
gotten through the blockade with ease.
Well, it's because the Separatists wouldn't need them because they just have droids.
Oh, of course. They actually do play a track from Episode 2 here. I think it's Return to Tatooine. It's very good. It's old music, but I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
So they talk about how brief Zori's character arc is and how she's going to show up in the last 5 minutes. And they get the coin, and then they leave? No, wait.
No,
Yes.
because Rey can sense that Chewie's alive, and so they
Yes.
get out and they use their thing to get on the Star Destroyer, which still doesn't make sense to me. They get the Falcon and they save Chewie because Chewie didn't die. Well, actually, first of all, we should probably mention that they
We skipped a lot.
they literally show that Chewie is like alive.
Yes. So they land on the ship with Ochi's ship, right? Is that who they have? They have Ochi's ship, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah. They land on the ship with Ochi's ship, kill the two guards, or the two stormtroopers that come up to greet them, and just plow through the Star Destroyer unannounced
They
to everyone else.
absolutely annihilate the crews of the giant, like, First Order Star Destroyers.
Yes, just plow through them. I don't think they even raise alarms. Like, Kylo Ren later has to figure out that she's on the Star Destroyer by knocking over Darth Vader's helmet instead of alarms. For some reason.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, they get Chewie and the dagger and they get out of there. Well, no, everyone except for
skipping really
Rey.
big parts, Kate.
Yeah, I know.
They get Chewie. Rey goes off into Kylo's thing to get the dagger back. They fight a little bit. He knocks over the helmet. Finds out that she's on the ship. Goes up back to the ship, and then they fight in the hangar.
Oh God. Yeah.
Wait, actually, hold on. Wait, go back before this even. Poe and Finn are captured. Pride tells Hux and 3 stormtroopers to execute them. And then Hux says he wants to do it himself. He takes the picture, and then he shoots the 2 stormtroopers. Or 3,
because he's a spy.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't obvious the first time that
Yeah.
he Hux on the screen.
I actually laughed when he says, "I'm the spy."
That was very funny because he's just a joke at this point.
Yeah, he is.
Not like he's going to be
Pride
alive
is
much
actually a
longer.
good addition. What'd you say?
I said not like Hux is going to be alive much longer to be a joke.
Oh no. Pride is a good addition to this. I think. He's actually at least somewhat intimidating. I have problems later on, but he's actually competent, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose it's always a big plus.
Yeah, and then Hux gets them to shoot. He asked them to shoot him in the arm, and then they shoot him in the leg, and then they escape.
I thought that was actually funny.
Me
Like
too. I laughed during this whole scene.
yeah, the comedy in this film, besides They Fly Now, I thought was much better than what they've been doing with the rest of the trilogy.
I thought Force Awakens was funny. I
Didn't care for it.
Last Jedi opened with mom jokes, and I switched my brain off.
If I was 12, I would have loved that opening.
Oh, so then we cut to Kylo and Rey fighting as the other group is getting the Millennium Falcon again, and they fight a little bit, or not at all. They just kind of rotate, and then he's like, "Hey, you're a Palpatine bot."
Yeah, I am your father. This was not.
Yeah, no. Why? I don't understand the choice of this. If anything, it just makes her even more similar to Luke. Which I wrote up a little thing about this. If you've seen it, I've spammed it, and so is Dark Jedi Knight into the group chat. But Rey is essentially the same character as Luke, but worse. And then they go ahead and throw in an evil lineage arc too with this.
Yeah,
just like they did with Vader. And it's like JJ thought the reason why people wanted her to be related to somebody was just because they wanted her to be related to somebody, when it actually would explain shit, and they actually set up shit in The Force Awakens. I stand by the fact that she was supposed to be a Skywalker the whole time. I think that's exactly where they were leaning it. And then
I don't know. I haven't really seen anything for that personally. I guess I just haven't. Besides, Desert Planet, Droid.
yeah,
But no, it does. Like I had mentioned earlier, it kind of makes that whole big character point, like the "No, I am your father" moment from Return of the Jedi, where it's revealed that her parents were just like Joe Schmoes. Like I didn't like that they did away with that, because I actually really liked, like I said earlier, I really liked that Rey was just some dweeb from a desert planet.
I do too. The problem that comes up with that, and when people discuss it, is they act like it's some revolutionary idea that you don't have to be related to somebody to be powerful with the Force.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that it should matter either way, because it's the Force. Maxi Pig,
Yeah,
the
it's
Force.
just. I mean, the Skywalkers are a clear exception because
Yeah,
Anakin is literally Jesus. But I mean, Yoda, he doesn't have a last name. The man is just powerful with the Force. He's 900 years. He's worked for it.
he's just a little green frog man.
Mace Windu is the second most powerful Jedi in the Order. He's nobody. He was a little baby, and then brought him up there, and then he worked his ass off.
Yeah, he used to have hair.
It's the theme from Ratatouille, where not everybody can cook, but a good cook can come from anywhere.
Yeah,
and that's how the Force has always worked.
Yeah, no, I definitely know what you mean. Like, it's not like a revolutionary idea, because like all throughout like Star Wars, I wouldn't know about any of like the stuff from the current canon, because I'm not interested in it really. But yeah, even in like the EU, like there are characters who are just like they because we're obviously taking this is a in between some of our episodes of Legacy, but like think of all the characters in there who are just like random people that are good with the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I don't like it for like that reason, that like it's this big new idea. I just liked it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I wasn't saying that's how you thought. I just
yeah.
That so much, and just the concept annoys me because that's what's so commonly associated with it. I didn't think you did, because I mean, obviously. But even in the movies, like Kenobi matches and even beats Anakin. So like the idea is already dead in the water that you have to be a Skywalker to be powerful.
Yeah, it just helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a bit of a tangent, but yeah, no, I don't like that she's a Palpatine.
Neither do I. I don't. You're not into Harry
Again,
Potter, are you?
what's that? Oh
You're not.
no, no,
No.
I've read the books. I've seen all but the last 3 movies. It's not my thing.
Well, in Cursed Child, they introduced that
Oh, I
Voldemort.
definitely haven't read that.
Yeah, they introduced that Voldemort had a kid with, I think, Bellatrix, and
Nice.
I don't understand why you make these very clearly asexual characters have kids. Like, what about Palpatine makes you think he's interested in sex at all?
Uh,
Aside from having a scrotum as a face.
big titty aliens.
You know what? He was really eyeing down that Umbaran. You know what? I'll give
Yeah, he's into pale chicks,
it.
pale bald chicks.
Reminds him of himself. He just jacks off to his own ego.
Yeah, but no, Palpatine has. Just for curious, when they have the little vision of Rey's parents, do they ever say which one is Palpatine's kid?
The son.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't care either way.
I don't know why Palpatine doesn't have a son under wraps or something. It makes no sense. I hate it.
I think it would have been funny if like the baby came out with scrotum face. It's a boy.
It reminds me of the Robot Chicken thing where Skeletor turns into a baby.
Yeah, it literally should have been that. Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Oh my god, missed opportunity.
Oh, okay. So that was
yeah.
a huge tangent. Rey does like a backflip into space into the Falcon.
And Pride kills Hux and says, "We found the spy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because he was probably just like down the hall, like 10 yards, when Hux is like, "I'm the spy."
He just heard them.
Hey, it's not like God. Hux was like funny. Hux said it like like with his outside voice, like he wasn't like
he did. He yelled it.
He didn't like whisper it to me. He wasn't like, "I'm the spy."
I'm the spy.
Yeah, he's literally just like it's a ship. They have like security cameras and stuff.
They just replay the recording.
Why did you shoot General Hux? Oh, he was the spy. How do you know? Roll the tape.
We have security footage because they've got to shoot out the cameras.
But all right. So after this,
they go to Kef Beer. This is the new Endor or whatever thing.
Yeah.
And they crash where the Death Star remains are.
We talked about this like right before we started recording. Why? I don't know. I don't read any of the visual dictionaries or anything. Basically, all of my knowledge of canon lore comes from things I see on various websites and like Instagram. So have you seen anything as to why the remains of the Death Star are not on the planet, or the moon rather, that it was orbiting?
No, I don't know why. After being vaporized, there's bits and pieces of the Death Star anyway. But
well, to be fair, I don't know how well the effects were in the 80s to make it anything other than vaporized. Because I'm pretty sure in the EU, they're the like remains of the Death Star are visited, but they're on Endor because that makes sense.
Yeah. I guess is Kef Beer another moon around the same planet?
I have no clue.
Honestly, I don't know why it's called Kef Beer.
It says here on Wikipedia that it's an ocean moon. So Endor has a forest moon and a ocean moon apparently, but no cell cap.
Not Endor. Like literally, you can just put
an ocean
on Endor.
Yeah, it's. Well, would a moon have to have it? No, it would have to have an ocean.
Yeah,
it sustains life.
Legends, it even has like a mountain region.
Yeah, Krang Mountains.
Yeah.
But no, they go there and they meet
Janna, who has the exact same fucking character arc as Finn.
Yeah, I kind of liked it though, because it would make sense that Finn isn't like an isolated case. It's just unfortunate that they also do nothing with that character arc of hers. But I like it. I like that they meet up, and it's kind of that. I think this is a good way of using the kind of Star Wars trope of like cosmic coincidences, where the ex stormtrooper meets another ex stormtrooper. Like I liked it.
This is the canon version of Dynasty of Evil. None of the characters make sense. There's plot contrivances everywhere.
There have not been nearly enough coincidences yet to be Dynasty of Evil levels.
That's fair.
Like if you looked up the like dictionary definition of coincidence, I'm pretty sure Dynasty of Evil's cover is there.
It's close though, with all these.
Oh yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. Wait, let's talk about the dagger that matches up completely with the Death Star ruins.
Well, we haven't got there yet.
God.
Because it just so happens that Jana hears about these people from Babu Frick. Because apparently Babu Frick just knows people on Kef Beer. Did they tell him that they're going to Kef Beer? I don't remember.
I guess. I don't.
They must have.
There's so many this movie has so many throwaway lines explaining plot that you could miss so much. I was terrified to go into the bathroom. You have that advantage over me.
Yeah, literally, I could just pause it and go to the bathroom or whatever, take a phone call.
If I went to the bathroom, I'd come back to a completely different movie.
True, very true. But no, they do go there, and while they're working on the Falcon, Jana basically explains that she also was a stormtrooper.
Yes.
And that she also turned against the First Order when they were told to fire on civilians, which I guess if you're going to stop being a child soldier, I guess that would be a good impetus to stop being a child soldier.
Yeah, why the First Order never looked into this, I do not know.
Lied to me, the recruiters did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But no, she. No, I like it. I like their little character interactions. I thought it was nice.
I would like it more if Finn ever did anything with this character concept.
Yeah, but
like he could be like he could serve as like inspiration, and that's what he was to Rose in Last Jedi. But they never do anything with this concept. Like even Sabine is a better ex-Imperial than Finn.
You what now?
Sabine is a better ex-Imperial than Finn.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that character was an ex-Imperial.
Yeah, she was a pilot.
Huh. Didn't know.
Pilot, Hot Topic ad. It's fine.
Yeah, literally have not seen an entire episode of it.
Don't do it.
But now, Rey takes like the boat out to a rock.
Yes.
Just a rock in the middle.
She uses the dagger first.
Oh, does she?
I think so. Or
well, let me look at the synopsis. No, she is headed to the Wayfinder, and this is what we're talking that we wanted to talk about. This dagger, you can look through it, Indiana Jones style, and if you match it up with a piece of Death Star wreckage
from that exact position.
Yeah. Well, see, what I'm assuming was that there's something just on the Death Star. It's not specifically the wreckage, but that the movie doesn't explain that.
No, it's the wreckage.
Oh, it's the wreckage.
Yes.
I put it in my head that it just had to be like that part of the Death Star.
No, it's just like torn up pieces in this weird shape. I guess the dagger was made after.
Yeah.
The destruction of the Death Star.
Yeah. Well, no one's going to answer these questions because she has the vision, and I called this 100%. Dark Rey was never going to be a thing with her Pong Krell looking lightsaber.
No,
it was never going to be a thing. Literally never. I had zero. It was a 0% chance in my mind.
Oh wait, one more thing before this. When she's climbing up into the, they actually play Darth Vader's death music. It's spliced really weird, but it got me, admittedly.
I remembered that because I remember hearing it and I'm like, oh, they're referencing my favorite movie. Nice.
Ooh, more fan service. But
Uh,
yeah, she
yeah,
has
but
the
no,
vision.
yep, the Vision. Uh, this is like a little side note. I had a $5 bet with one of my with like my best friend that was a Vision and it was never going to be anything more than that. He was dead set that Darth Ray was going to be a thing, and I'm like, no, you're stupid.
I
It's a
agree
Vision.
with you.
And I when I went home for Christmas vacation from work, I was $5 richer.
I don't understand why anybody would think Ray, of all people, would struggle with this sort of thing.
But, you know, so they have that little Vision, and then
Ray hisses at her. Dark Ray hisses
yeah,
at her with sharp shark teeth.
shark teeth. Yeah,
It's
it was very, very cheesy.
cringy. It was very cringy. Oh,
Yeah, I didn't like it.
no,
Well, first of all, she had a Pong Krell lightsaber, which is awful.
and her arm like jerks a little bit when it comes undone.
Yeah.
it looks so awkward.
But yeah, so then Kylo shows up and they have a fight.
And but any thoughts on the fight itself?
I hated every time that they force jumped because it looked. It's not that they were force jumping and jumping around on rubble because that was neat. I just thought it didn't look good when they force jumped.
Everything's in slow mo.
There was a lot of slow mo,
Yeah,
but for some reason, the force jumps when I was watching it, they just stuck out to me, and I'm like, ugh, it doesn't look good.
It's a really weird break in the fighting.
Yeah, it seemed like you know how in the episode 3 video game, how there would just be random cutscenes when you're having a boss fight?
Yes.
Yeah, it reminded me of those, specifically the one from the Grievous boss fight, because you have to go to all the locations.
Oh god, there's so many maps.
And it just reminded me of that. Like, it's like, oh shit, this is their loading screen to load up their new area. The duel I didn't care for. I really don't care for the lightsaber choreography in the sequels. I'm pretty sure I'm probably in the minority in that really there's only been like one lightsaber duel. Well, I just haven't liked it. I know a lot of people really, really like the episode 7 duel. Not for me.
In terms of choreography, I like 7. I don't like Rey beating Kylo, obviously.
Yeah.
Logistically, it makes sense, but I don't know why narratively you would want the villain to lose so early on. But the choreography-wise, Rey's running away from him sometime, and there's like some subtle psychological stuff in there too. I like it, and I think the lightsabers look gorgeous. But Last Jedi is a clusterfuck of choreography.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one.
Yeah, and this one, the only memorable part about the lightsaber fights for me are the little force bond vision things that they have, where like it switches between areas. So this fight doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. But then, so Kylo starts winning, and then Leia's dying,
and Maz Kanata slowly narrates everything Leia is doing.
Yeah, almost like the actress for Leia was dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, then she calls out to Ben, and that takes Kylo out of it, and Rey fucking kills him.
Yeah, she stabs his ass.
Yeah, she literally just stabs him. Is it through the stomach or through the back?
Stomach.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a lightsaber. Eventually, you're gonna hit
here. Yeah, that's true. Tangent here. I do like that Kylo's sort of toying with her throughout this entire movie, and not like fighting her seriously. Like she's struggling, and the only reason why she beats Kylo in this scenario is because of Leia.
Yeah, no, I like that. Kylo, he must have been in the gym doing some pull-ups. Got a little wider.
He did leg day.
Oh, he probably he's
That's
probably
look.
doing. He's
See
probably
the
doing
force
like.
jumping. Look, he
Oh
didn't even
yeah,
use the force to jump. He just used the power of his game.
yeah. He has been hitting reverse lunge like 100
Oh
reps.
yes.
But no one wants to hear about the gym. It's Star Wars.
Oh,
So yeah, Leia dies. Well, we should probably mention that I think that they used the fact that Carrie Fisher is dead. Like I think they did probably as good of a job with Leia as they could have done. I think.
with using her old scenes, I agree.
I honestly like I didn't really notice.
I did. I don't know if it's because I knew it was happening, but a lot of the dialogue she says doesn't really jive with what people are saying, and it feels weird and out of
Yeah,
place. But I think it works enough.
it
What they have.
probably helps that I've only seen 7 and 8 one time, so I don't remember a lot of her dialogue. Um, but no, I thought
It's all
that
from
they
the deleted
did.
scenes.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job with it.
Yeah, me too. As best as they could, at least.
Yeah, I was really worried that they were just gonna like kill Leia in like the first 10 minutes of the film, just to be like, all right, that's out of the way. She made it a a long way into the movie.
Yeah, she did. It's a surprising amount, actually.
I like by the time we got here, I wouldn't have been surprised if she made it through the whole movie.
I am realizing now that no legacy character in these movies has gotten a funeral, like at all.
Yeah. Well, I guess Han makes sense because he died basically at the start of like World War III.
Yeah, they don't even have like a memorial though for him or anything. Like, and I know his body was incinerated, but I mean, damn,
But yeah.
nobody gets love.
No. Well, I mean, I think really the only funeral we ever see in Star Wars is Qui-Gon. And Vader, I guess, but
Yeah,
Vader and Qui-Gon. So yeah, that's it. I guess funerals just aren't important in Star Wars. You just
no.
you just leave dead people where they're at.
Well, to be fair, the circumstances around. Well, no, I guess you get one with Shmi. She's at least buried.
Oh yeah, yeah, Shmi. But does anyone really want to talk about Episode 2?
Yeah, that's true. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are just they'll be in the
Luke,
sand soon
yeah,
enough.
Luke just leaves him there while C-3PO's burning live Jawas.
Oh, they weren't dead. They were just stunned.
Oh my god! For all like five people who watch this, we should have mentioned at the beginning that there should be like a drinking game, like take a shot every time we have Robot Chicken Star Wars reference.
I agree.
Next time, because God, we're so God, we reference Star Wars Robot Chicken way too much.
It's ridiculous.
But no, where are we even at? Leia's dead. Oh, and then here's where like you mentioned it, and I actually hadn't even thought of it that way. But yeah, like Rey basically uses dark transfer from Legacy.
Yeah,
She literally brings Kylo back from being dead because I never understood her motivation except
he's
that
not dead. He's just stabbed.
I thought Kylo was dead.
No, he's like looking at her as she's healing him. Now
I
Rey
thought
is
he was
dead at the end of the movie.
I thought that Kylo was straight up dead.
No.
Oh. Damn, he is resilient.
Yeah, he is. Qui-Gon was a bitch.
Yeah, Qui-Gon got stabbed in the exact same spot and he died.
Oh, but here, it's still more akin to dark transfer, I think.
Oh yeah, he must have been like basically dead.
Yeah, in the EU, you can feel free to correct me on this, but it's like force healing is really minor wounds.
Yeah, it's usually like and okay. You're gonna have to stifle your vomit because I'm gonna reference the Revan novel.
Oh God.
But there is a scene in it where Revan is injured, and it mentions that he can heal like the basic stuff, but he can't basically. It's not like KOTOR where you just instantly heal yourself. Well, unless you're in episode 9, like
Indeed.
JJ obviously just played KOTOR, and he's like, oh, Force Heal,
Just
that
put it
shit's
in.
easy. Just put it in. It's easy. You just Kylo has max HP now. But no, yeah, basically, Force Heal. Yeah, it's not like it's not like a game, like a game thing. You have to concentrate. Yeah.
Comes to mind. I think she can heal like blaster wounds, and she's supposed to be one of the most talented force healers in the order.
Yep, because in a lot of stuff they use it for like little stuff, like because even I'm rereading Fate of the Jedi right now, and there are scenes in it where Luke, expanded universe Grandmaster Luke Skywalker is like injured, and even he can't like just snap his fingers and he's back to 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is definitely like, which obviously makes sense because it's the new canon and they can do whatever.
A baby is using the Force. This really isn't that big of a deal in retrospect.
It's true. That is very true. So yeah, he heals him and takes his ship and runs away.
Yeah. And then she fucks off to Octu, and then Kylo gets up and he's like,
I'm alive.
Seeing a vision of Han.
I was like irate because I thought Han was a Force ghost, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the group chat had to like calm me down and be like, "No, it's just a vision. It's just a vision." And I'm like, "Why is Han Solo a Force ghost?"
Don't worry, we can talk about that later because I still fucked that up.
But yeah, no. I don't know. I kind of like the scene, I guess.
I actually cried during the scene. Don't make fun of me. I've explained this to you, and I probably said it on the podcast before, but I really liked The Force Awakens when it came out, up until when I saw The Last Jedi. And so I can't even hate The Force Awakens because I have so much love for it. Or I had, at least. It's like Vader hating Ahsoka 100%. You can't do it. But with this, it just reminded me of so much wasted potential, and I was just happy to see Harrison again, and Luke was acting like Luke in this movie, and
that was nice.
So in this movie,
yeah, I'm sure Harrison Ford wasn't happy to see Harrison Ford in this movie.
No, well, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see his paycheck for this 5-minute scene.
I'm sure it had to be massive because just total again tangent. If you are a Star Wars fan and don't know that Harrison Ford hates being Han Solo, what rock have you been living under for the past like 40 years? Yeah, no.
He's so cynical.
Very vocal about not like being Han Solo.
He didn't even shave for the scene. He just has like this white stubble all over his face.
Well, yeah, like I mean, when you're dead, you don't have time to shave.
Oh, that's true. And your hair still goes.
He probably literally rolled out of bed that morning. Should I shave? Hey kid.
Hey kid. Mark Hamill's impression. But anyway, I thought the scene was really touching.
Once I found out and my rage was stifled that Han Solo wasn't a Force ghost. Yeah, I thought it was nice. I liked it. I like that. Kind of that. It's like poetry. It rhymes. Thing where Kylo killed Han to like solidify being a Darksider, and then it's basically Han that. Then they do the inverse where.
Yeah, and they even repeat the line.
Yeah, and he pokes his face.
Yeah, it's sad. I like it.
It was nice.
And like dying just before too. It got me.
Yeah, understandable.
Then he chunked his red lightsaber into the ocean.
Yeah, thank God, because God, I hate that lightsaber. Happy to see it gone.
I saw one post about it. This is gross canon crystals, but still, that he should have purified his crystal and made it white.
Ow! You stop that.
It's gross, but at the same time, first appearance of a white lightsaber in live action.
Oh, please no. I don't care for white lightsabers.
But anyway, he chunks the lightsaber into the ocean.
Yep, he pulls a Luke Skywalker and throws his lightsaber off a cliff.
Exactly. Except this one is actually, compelling because it's not a shitty joke. But
yeah,
anyway,
and I was glad to see it go. But we won't talk about Kylo's lightsaber. Besides, I hate it. But Palpatine, talks about how
Kylo Ren has betrayed me
Yeah.
in some shit, so bring all your forces to execute.
you're in charge of the First Order now.
Yeah,
And
basically.
also, apparently, the synopsis mentions that Pride was a loyal Imperial. So, he's like, I'll be your guy.
Yeah, no. He even says in the dialogue, I'll serve you just as I did in the old or something.
Oh, I remember that now that you say it.
Yeah.
So they go.
So he takes every First Order cruiser to Exegol or something.
Yes, and then
or just his? I don't know. Look,
I'm pretty sure he takes like all of the First Order stuff, and he tells. I'm pretty sure Palpatine tells him that it is a new Star Destroyer, and it's definitely not. It's definitely not the Eclipse. And then they take the not Eclipse. They take the not Eclipse and blow up a planet. Because oh my God, there's another super weapon.
And how many super weapons have there been so far? What is this, the fourth fucking movie?
I guess. Yeah, I was gonna say the OT had one in A New Hope and one in Return of the Jedi. Now the sequel trilogy's got one in Force Awakens and a fleet of them in Rise of Skywalker.
So yeah, if you complain about the super weapons in Legends, well, now you have to deal with this in canon.
Yeah, and I've never cared about super weapons because it's Star Wars, it's sci-fi, big laser.
I don't care about it popping up every now and again, especially in relation to Palpatine, because the man is just super weapon crazy.
Yeah, well, he likes big lasers.
But oh my God, we have 9 movies, and nearly half of them have a super weapon in it.
Well, 5 of them have a super weapon because Rogue One has Death Star too.
Oh fuck!
Also has Death Star. But yeah, so
or 5 and 11 now.
Yeah, so I'm assuming now Rey goes to Octo
to give up. Yes.
She basically does a Luke.
Yeah, she goes to give up for some reason
because she's sad about it. Even though apparently this is when she now decides to care about it after she beats Kylo.
So she beats Kylo, heals him, says, "Hey, I wish you were on my side," and then fucks off to the.
Before, if she would have waited 5 minutes, he would have been on her side.
Yeah. And she, I don't know. I don't understand why she's burning the TIE fighter and giving up at all.
Yeah, but she's about to throw Anakin, Luke, her lightsaber into the burning ship, and then Luke shows up, and he's not depressed and sad, and he grabs the lightsaber.
Thank God. And look, actually, Luke is on screen. That's first fucking time this entire trilogy, because he doesn't say anything in Force Awakens, and then Last Jedi is Last Jedi. And
yeah. Besides the fact that he grabs the lightsaber, I like Force Ghost Luke. I think I saw some shitty like YouTube Star Wars theory about how oh, they're gonna bring back Luke Skywalker because no one's ever truly gone. It's like, yeah, they're gonna bring him back as a Force ghost.
Yes,
Have
exactly.
have you not seen Star Wars? If your Jedi mentor dies, he's coming back as a blue
Exactly.
guy.
Unless, apparently, according to Star Wars facts, if you get yeeted by Nihilus or
Yeah,
uh,
apparently, according to some, yeah, but that's a whole different thing. But yeah,
can of
Luke
worms.
is a Force ghost. He says nice things.
He's
He's like, yeah, I knew you were Palpatine, but I just didn't tell you because Jedi Masters. It's the it's in the Jedi code. If your Padawan, learner, whatever, has any kind of like important lineage, you literally
do not tell.
cannot tell. You don't tell them. You
Jesus Christ! I
you
did
just
not even
don't
think of
do
that.
it. Which again really makes me think that the idea either was like I said earlier, like Rey was probably supposed to be no one, and
Oh no, these three movies do not agree with each other at all.
no, because literally Luke is like, yeah, I knew that, I just didn't tell you.
I chose to train you, knowing full well you were a Palpatine.
Yeah, but I liked it. It's just it's just that Star Wars thing where stuff happens through the trilogy. Like
More blatant ripping off of the original trilogy. Okay, anyway.
anyways,
He
then we
torches the
have
TIE Fighter.
yep, she tortured the TIE fighter, is about to throw it in. They have their conversation. Then they're oh my god, I don't know how to speak. Then happens my favorite scene in the movie, which is the flashback of Luke and Leia training. And wow, I really like that scene.
It's playing Luke and Leia's theme for Return of the Jedi too, I think.
Well, yeah, because they have to reference the best movie.
Well, of course. But you actually, God, it makes me so sad watching it because it reminds me of what could have been. But
yeah, no, I really like it because it's just a really well done scene.
I think Leia looks a bit weird, but Luke honestly surprised me how well he looked.
Oh, yeah, it's like they fucking built their time machine using their Disney bucks and grabbed 1980s Mark Hamill.
It's already constructed. They're gonna bring back Walt eventually.
Did he have his awful Episode 6 haircut, or was he wearing a helmet?
He was wearing a helmet.
Oh, thank God.
But it looked really good.
Yeah, no, it looked really good.
Leia did not. Leia looked weird to me. Her eyes, especially.
I thought she looked fine. Again, I was watching on a 5-pixel totally legal live stream.
But it's nice seeing him train her. It reminds me of Heir to the Empire, Dawn trilogy shit.
Exactly.
It's just nice.
Totally weird question, and I could not tell in this because of the quality of how I watched the film. What color was Leia's lightsaber in this flashback?
Just blue.
Okay, that's what I assumed, but every lightsaber kind of looked like basically like blaring white because it definitely wasn't recorded on like a cell phone. No. But all the lightsabers except for Kylo's looked like blazing like white. But yeah,
it's actually nice to see the green too, because this is the first time we've seen green in these movies, aside from when Luke is trying to yeet his nephew, and even then,
that's true. Yeah, that's the only time you see Luke's Episode 6 lightsaber, which is the best looking lightsaber in the Star Wars films.
Thin neck lightsabers are just beautiful,
and it's green, which is the best lightsaber color. Yeah, you get to see that, and I like the little training thing. But yeah, so then he basically
he's like her vision.
I didn't like the vision. That's the one thing I didn't like about that. I didn't like the whole if you become a Jedi, then your son's gonna like die or whatever.
Because he fucking dies anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I wish it would have been basically what it was from like the EU, where it's like she's busy doing like New Republic shit.
Yeah. But
Or
here she just has a weird vision about Kylo dying, and then also sends him to train with Luke without Han's permission. And
yeah, I'm just gonna pretend that Luke never talked about the vision and just enjoy the little
there you go.
The little training scene.
Look, I'll just record the scene, put the music over it, and then edit in lightsaber shouts, so lightsaber strikes.
Well,
sounds.
when they start talking about how Leia had the vision, just crank up the music.
There you go.
But yeah, then Luke basically gives her, more or less, gives her a pat on the back, and he's like, "Yeah, go kill Palpatine. Yeah, you're fine."
Yep.
And also then he raises his X-wing that, if I remember right, was it not missing one of the S-foils in Last Jedi?
It may have been.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing, but this movie, it's just totally fine.
It's been underwater for how long?
It's been underwater for literal decades, but it's fine. Just, let it, put it in a bag of rice.
It's fine. Put it in the bag of rice.
But yeah, then she flies off because she uses the Wayfinder that hasn't, been exploded from Kylo's ship.
It's hard for me to enjoy the X-wing raising thing. It's just so blatant in your face at this point.
Yeah.
It's like all of the nostalgia in this movie just feels empty because of how we got here.
Yeah.
But she yeets off to
Exegol.
Exegol, and like allowing the Resistance to track her there, so they can get through.
Yeah, but then we get to the best part, because Rey gets to Exegol, right? Is that what happens next? That's what happens next in the synopsis.
Yeah, the Resistance talks about going there and spouts a bunch of contrived bullshit about how they know about a bunch of shit and how they're going to do it.
And that
makes no sense.
Postly like, oh, look at me, I'm the captain now.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because he's basically been in charge since like episode 7.
Yeah.
Leia's in charge because she's Leia, so that's basically
I wish
qualification.
He could have. I would have liked him to have. None of these characters go through arcs at a reasonable pace, and it bothers me so much because there's like so much potential here, but they never live up to it. Poe is just constantly sidelined, and this general thing is actually pretty interesting. Because, wait, never mind. I take it back. His freaking Force Awakens and Last Jedi just. You know what? That's Rey's on Exegol.
Yeah, Rey is on Exegol, and
she
shows up to Palpatine. Yeah, and it turns out that they're in the middle of a football stadium. I really didn't like that. I thought it was really lame. Like, has Palpatine just been sitting in this fucking football field for 30 years?
Who the fuck are these people?
Oh, they don't explain it.
Nothing is explained.
They're just the Sith cult, and they, Palpatine's like...
Are they spirits? Are they actual people?
I thought that they were, like, just cultists. And I'm pretty sure that's what they are.
Shitting in the stands? Not moving or something?
Well, they're just hooked up to, colostomy bags and, catheters. Just like Palpatine.
We process fecal matter to produce Star Destroyers.
And so yeah, she shows up and Palpatine's like, "Oh, hello, granddaughter." And Palpatine saying all that dialogue about how he's been waiting for his granddaughter to come back and whatever. Oh, I hated it. It was so bad.
Why the fuck does Palpatine care about his granddaughter?
Well, because he needs her to kill him so that he can transfer his spirit to Rey, which is presumably how he survived. So is this Palpatine actually just Palpatine's, like, son?
Or is it his real body? And the one in Return of the Jedi was a clone? It could be his son. This could be actual Palpatine who survived 2 explosions. It's just a corpse that
could...
being animated.
I don't know. I guess my thing was after I had watched the movie was that like that's actually his like son's body, but that doesn't make sense because then who the hell did Palpatine transfer into when he got thrown down a fucking reactor shaft and exploded? And then his
Why does
explosion got
essence
exploded.
transfer work like this anyway?
Like at least in Dark Empire, like he already had clones.
Yeah, he just jumps from
Versus,
one clone to the other as soon as he's exhausted.
yeah, versus this where
Well, the Dark Empire is explained. This is just vague bullshit.
it's explained. He lands on a planet, talks with Yoda's Force Ghost. No, look at that.
Little sponge.
I'm just gonna take a nap. Oh no.
Took a long
But-
time to move.
But yeah. God, we need to like review that.
Oh.
But anyways, yeah. So
Wait 1 second. He talks about transferring himself into her,
yes,
and all of the Sith will
Yeah.
also be in her.
yes.
So it's gonna be Rey, Palpatine, all the Sith before them as consciousness.
I don't know. I never got that. Like, are the Sith just like a fucking hive mind?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Is-
because Palpatine also says that he's Sith, but is it literal or metaphorical?
Yeah. Is he like? Is he just the fucking grave mind or?
Because if it's all that, Palpatine is basically defined by self-determinism, independence. Fuck you, I'm Palpatine. Why would you make him all the Sith ever?
See,
Like,
the way I choose to take that line is basically just like when he says I'm all the Sith will be you. Like it, I think it's basically just like he's big upping himself because like he's the culmination of the Sith.
yeah.
I guess is how I always pick that line.
See, that's how I want to work. That's how I want it to work with Palpatine, but with Rey, I want the exact opposite. Because I don't want her bullshitting being able to beat Darth Sidious.
Yeah, and then basically also this is basically just episode 6. Like it, like throughout their little dialogue and stuff, the Resistance arrives and is
It's episode 6.
yeah they're fighting the largest fleet ever fucking shown on screen times 1,000.
Yeah, we have to destroy the radar thingy with our little bitty fleet.
Yep.
And then
Also,
they transfer it.
also Kylo, or well Ben, I guess Ben Solo shows up.
Yes.
Still not crazy on him being named Ben. They should have named him Jerry or something. I don't know.
You mean Han and Leia didn't have a relationship with Obi-Wan?
Yeah, but anyways, so Ben Solo shows up and basically just beats the Knights of Ren because Rey teleports him the lightsaber in a really
Yes.
I hated the teleporting stuff. It looked very cheesy when she's like holding the lightsaber behind her back and then he puts
Just
his hand
disappears.
behind his back and I didn't care for it. But yeah,
It was a
the
good one.
Knights of Ren finally show up and are killed.
Without a word of dialogue.
Yeah, literally.
No philosophy developed. We have no idea what the fuck they are.
Apparently,
who they are.
they're in this like Rise of Kylo Ren comic that I'm not gonna read. So
Neither am I. I might have read it had the pivotal point in Kylo Ren's turn not been his uncle trying to touch him in his sleep.
Yeah, very true.
But I just don't give a fuck. But
they die. The Knights of Ren go out with a whimper, not a bang.
yeah.
And then Palpatine, like force drains Rey and Ben, and fucking shoots giant lightning.
Hold on, wait. Back
What?
up a bit, because we need to talk about the drain a little bit.
Okay.
He drains them.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, you're a Force dyad, you have a bond. And then is like surprised that they have a bond, even though Snoke says in Episode 8 that he created the bond.
Yeah, which would have meant that Palpatine created the bond.
Apparently, but
Again, it's almost like these movies weren't written by a singular person.
with no common third line. But he
Yeah.
drains them of their bond, specifically, I think. And, like, not even their force energy. And then he...
I just assumed it was basically like just regular force drain, and then he grows his fingers back.
And gets shiny new robes, and his Sith eyes, and a wrinkly face.
Yes. And then shoots giant light.
Yes. And,
and
he destroys the resistance with dubstep.
Yeah.
And
watch this drop.
Bill, like
the
sky, blows up some ships, and just stops others.
Yeah.
Conveniently, our main hero.
And then I fucking laughed so hard when he threw Kylo into, like, off a cliff. I laughed.
Just throws him in a pit.
I laughed so hard because it's like, I don't remember what he says, but he says something.
Here, I got this.
Okay.
As once I fell, so fall the last Skywalker.
Oh my god, that's like the best Palpatine line, because it's something stupid like that, and Palpatine would actually say it.
Aside from Rey beating him, I love Palpatine in this movie just because Ian McDiarmid he's a national treasure, and I would die for him.
Yeah,
but,
now fall the Skywalker.
He just yeets Kylo Ren into a pit, and so Kylo Ren is completely not present whatsoever.
Dead. Yeah,
he's not present at all for the final act. Like, your best character is not even in the movie at this point.
Yeah, I'd laughed. I laughed so hard. But yeah, no. So then Rey hears the Jedi. Do you know who all of them are?
I know a few of them.
Okay.
Oh wait, we have a list right here.
No, I have the list. Damn it! I was going to see how many you could list off without knowing.
It's okay. I had this up too.
Yeah, it's Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Ahsoka, gross, Yoda, Mace Windu, Kanan, gross, Ayla Secura, Luminara Unduli, Adi Gallia, Luke, and Anakin.
Okay. First of all, Ahsoka's not even a Jedi.
That we know of.
I guess she returns when she becomes Gandalf the White or some shit.
Yeah.
More than half of these people can't even be Force ghosts, according to the prequels, at least.
Yeah, but they're.
But I also don't care.
They're not being Force ghosts. They're just the voices.
Yes.
Because they're one with
at the same time, though, I don't really care because that's a bullshit rule in the first place.
That was really stupid.
Just make all Force sensitive turns into ghosts dumb. And like Sith Spirit ghosts are really cool too because they're bound to one area unless they can like essence transfer. Essence transfer.
George had
I just reminded myself of Vendetta.
Big secret. Holocron on my chest.
No.
But
anyway.
Yeah. So she hears that. I like that. I like that scene of Rey getting like the pep talk. I liked it because, well, first of all, because I felt really cool because I recognized a lot of the voices. I did not get that there was Ayla Secura, Luminara, and Adi Gallia. When I heard a female, because that didn't sound like Ahsoka. I didn't think it sounded like Ahsoka, but then again, I don't like Ahsoka, so probably why. I actually just like in my head, I was like, oh, it's probably Shaak Ti, because Shaak Ti is like the only important, as far as like the films go, she's like the only important like female Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Semi-important if you include her deleted scenes.
No one includes this. But no, so she gets the pep talk. Or were you going to say something?
Do you think that the Jedi lend her power, or they just...
The synopsis says so. So yes.
The synopsis is making up shit, because that's not the impression that I have from this.
From actually watching the film, I didn't get that impression. Like, I just thought it was like a pep talk. Like
like, I like this conceptually, but if you're gonna do this, why not do the Sith Inquisitor Thanaton shit, where all the Force Ghosts stand behind him, and then he yeets Thanaton? Like, why not just show these characters? This is the last Star Wars movie you're putting out in this saga. Just show Hayden Christensen, damn it.
Actually, no, I'll touch on that later. I had another big victory, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so they give her a pep talk basically, and Palpatine is trying to get Rey to spell I cup, and she's deflecting it with one lightsaber, and then basically, have you ever watched? This is going to be like a really weird reference, maybe. Have you ever watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
No.
Oh. Basically, I hope somebody gets it.
Keep going.
Rey shows Palpatine the power of two hands and pulls out Leia's lightsaber, and that's enough. If Mace Windu would have picked up fucking Kit Fisto's lightsaber, none of this would have happened.
Anakin, hand me your lightsaber, please.
Anakin, give me that stick. If Yoda would have had two lightsabers, he would have beaten Palpatine, because that's all it takes. You just got to have two lightsabers.
Fucking Rey beats the Dark Lord of the Sith. Not Anakin, not Yoda, not Mace Windu. Rey, who is just a bargain brand version of Luke.
She had two lightsabers.
This scene pisses me off so much because it's so unearned.
Yeah,
Rey a good character, maybe. I still don't like Palpatine coming back conceptually, but why?
Yeah, so Palpatine is dead, apparently for all time. They don't explain how. How the fuck? Why is Rey not possessed by Palpatine now? That was his whole impetus. Is that
Actually,
Rey kills him, and then he becomes Palpatine.
If she had to kill him, like, in anger for his soul to go into her, does that recontextualize what happened in Jedi? Like he was trying to take over Luke's body or some shit?
No. Because that would be stupid.
We're talking about Rise of Skywalker, damn it, Kate.
Yeah, but see, to talk about one of my favorite things ever, Dark Empire, it is explained why Palpatine can't come back. They don't explain it in this. For all we know,
all the Jedi of all time just seal him away, don't they?
Yeah, literally. Well, first of all, the hero of Dark Empire, I can't pronounce his first name, but everyone just calls him Brand because his first name has way too many syllables and too many E's, and several Y's. But Brand, first of all, after Palpatine dies, his spirit, he tries to possess a baby, and then Brand jumps in front of him, and then he dies because Palpatine's Force senses, blah blah blah. And then every Jedi, literally of all time, keeps Palpatine from coming back. Is that what the Force Ghosts do? Is that
it's not explained? We'll have to wait for the novelization.
Because the synopsis tells me nothing. Is the novel not out?
No. The novel was delayed and is being delayed for. It's not delayed. It's just set to release I think 2 months from now or something.
Interesting.
I don't know. All the other novels have come out with the movies.
Well, because every prequel novel came out before the movies. Because I read episode 3, the novel, before I saw the movie.
Which was exponentially better than the movie.
Yeah, so maybe Rise of Skywalker novel is going to be the same.
It's supposed to be longer. I think it's called the extended or whatever version, which would definitely help the pacing. Because it's a fucking roller coaster.
Rise of Skywalker, bigger, longer, and uncut. I see. But yeah, no. So Rey dies from the strain of, Palpatine. So at least there was consequences to it. Until fucking Kylo Ren pulls himself up a cliff, heals her,
Finds her corpse, heals her from
and
death.
from death. He dark transfers. He uses dark transfer and heals her. They have their Raylo, and then he dies.
And this is the instance where I have to wonder, why was Anakin worried about Padme if he could just do this shit?
Well, because first of all, do you think George Lucas would have thought of Force Heal?
Honestly, no.
But that's why. That's why Anakin wasn't worried.
In the context of this shit.
In the context of the actual universe, though, yeah, it's well, because he saw Force vision, so I don't know.
It works though, because like healing can't do this shit, and then you have dark transfer. Wasn't invented until Cade Skywalker got it. Was it
Yeah.
This
But
just...
it doesn't matter because Rey's alive and Kylo gets to become one with the Force which I like because it's not a fucking secret, George.
I don't know why the fuck he made it. That's so fucking...
Because it's George Lucas.
Wait a minute, Kylo didn't talk to the Force priestesses on that weird planet.
Yeah. Oh, ugh, gross. It's not even funny. Don't even joke about that. Yeah. So then at that point, Leia's body decides to fade away as well, which is weird.
I actually like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's weird because Vader's body didn't disappear.
No, Luke just burnt the armor.
Yeah, and well, his body doesn't disappear when he dies immediately. I don't know if he...
Oh yeah, he dies, but you know,
his body doesn't disappear as far as we see.
Yeah, because he was alive, like the Jawas.
It doesn't really make sense because I mean, at that point she's dead, but I don't. So I don't know how much consciousness she could have being dead, but
she lost a little.
I don't know. I like it. It's like her Force spirit or whatever is at rest now that her son is.
Yeah. So yeah, they then the best part of the movie comes in, and what? We skipped over how Lando came in and fucking beat the First Order. I don't want to talk about horses on the Star Destroyer, so we're just gonna skip that.
Wait, actually, I want to.
Oh,
I have a point to make.
Okay, that it's awful.
Aside from that, yes. Why didn't the Star Destroyer just like turn upside down?
Shut up.
It just like dump everybody off of it and kill them. But anyway, moving on from that.
Yeah, but Lando shows up and goes sicko mode on the First Order.
Lando brings
everyone
in the galaxy to fight the Emperor, apparently.
Yeah,
where
he's
they
Lando.
come from, I don't know.
Who cares?
Why they didn't show up in the... you know what? If somebody's going to have the charisma to do it, it's going to be Lando.
Yeah. He's like, oh, hello. I need someone for my fleet.
We're in.
Oh, God, man. Have you seen... Look at that cape.
I guess... there's so much wrong with this scene. But you know what? I'm just going to brush it off as Lando did it. Because I don't care at this point.
Because he's Lando. Lando is the literal hero of this movie. He saved the day. If Lando wouldn't have showed up, then it wouldn't have mattered that Palpatine died because they still had a bajillion Star Destroyers.
I agree.
So again, Lando proving that he's the GOAT.
So then we cut to the actual best part of this movie, Yub Nub.
The credits. But yeah, no, they go through. I do like how they mention in the movie, because this is one of the things that people point out about Return of the Jedi. They just point out in like a throwaway line of dialogue that people all over the galaxy are like fighting the First Order now.
This confuses me because I'm wondering, because this movie does not want to make any indication of this. What the fuck is the state of the First Order? How much do they control? What parts of the galaxy are they in? Are they ruling the galaxy?
Yes.
Are they not ruling the galaxy? If they're ruling the galaxy, why do they need the Sith fleet?
Yes.
Why are there more than 12 Resistance members?
Hey, is that an Ewok?
Oh, an Ewok! Oh my god! Look.
But yes, they put an Ewok in the movie, which is besides Lando the best thing in the movie. They didn't do Yub Nub, which was pretty lame. The whole ending part should have been to Yub Nub.
I agree. But Lando meets who is now confirmed to be his daughter, I guess.
Yeah, that I didn't like. I didn't like that that's his daughter. That actually, you're right. That it after that happened, it became Dynasty of Evil levels of coincidence.
Yeah, and it was like oddly sexual too. That might just be Billy D. Williams being way more suave than
exactly
should be allowed in our universe. But
honestly, I wish they would have done it for like fan service, but I wish he would have been like, "Oh, what have we here?" Obviously, not in a "I'm gonna fuck my daughter" kind of way, but in like
no, it would have come across as that.
It would have. I'm pretty sure Billy D. Williams must. I think he just makes women pregnant by walking by.
Billy D. Williams fucks. But this whole celebration on whatever the hell this planet's name is, feels so shallow to me.
It feels so like it needed more Ewoks.
I agree.
Also, big, huge complaint about the movie. They killed Nien Nunba off screen.
I read that actually today.
Yeah, my friend, I didn't know that until I saw it on like Instagram that they confirmed it. And I sent the screenshot to my friend, and I was like, they fucking killed Nien? What? And they kill him off screen.
Why does everybody gotta fucking die in these movies?
Like, I get it, like, the casual moviegoer, probably, they don't know who Nien Nunba is.
No.
And really, and all he does in the movies is laugh at Lando and have a pancake head.
He doesn't even laugh in this movie. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
But
I'm
gonna go listen to Nien voice clips when I get off of this.
But no, so they have their celebration. I really liked that Chewie got Han's medal from the Battle of Yavin.
Is it Han's?
Yeah. Who's else?
That's touching.
Whose else would it be? Luke's?
I don't know. I didn't even make that connection. I was more focused on the fact that he didn't get one in episode 4. He gets one now. The rebels look like dicks.
It doesn't matter.
But if it's Han's, I can accept it because
that's one of those dumb little complaints. Is saying, "Oh, Chewie never got a medal."
But since it's Han's, I think it's
it's Han's, which is nice. Although Maz gives it to him, and Maz is terrible.
Butthole eyes.
And then they presumably went off and fornicated.
Yes.
Poe and the Red Ranger fall in love.
Until she denies him.
Yeah, but they're in love. And then
of course.
Rey,
with her character arcs, they'll be in love by the next 5 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, and then Rey gives everyone a hug, except Chewie. And then Rey goes to the fucking Uncle Owen's house, which apparently just is still there.
There's some old lady outside of it.
Like, does she just live there? Like, is that her house now? Did she buy it?
No one's been here in years.
Does she say that?
Yeah, the old lady does.
Okay, clearly that's not true because she was fucking there. Obviously, like
no one's been here in years. And Rey's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm no one."
Yeah, and then
that was funnier in my head.
Yeah, it's just,
but anyway, she is asked, "Who are you?" And she's like,
"Well, first of all, she's burying Anakin and Leia's lightsabers because Luke's lightsaber doesn't fucking show up." in person ever once.
No,
So
it's
she's
just
burying Anakin and his daughter's lightsaber.
one of the
It-
porgs ate it.
It was a Canuck. A Canuck ate it.
They killed.
Um,
Damn it! Now I gotta kill Canucks and loot their corpses.
yeah. But it would have been neat, even if she just had like just randomly gotten Luke's lightsaber. I would have been like, fine. She went back to Octo and found it, or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, just do it off screen because first of all, Luke's lightsaber looks cooler than both of them.
I agree.
Plus,
I agree.
it, it, Luke had a lightsaber too, guys. Yeah, she buries him, and somewhere General Grievous is salivating.
um, have you seen the picture of like the Force Ghost to Grievous?
Oh yeah, Force Ghost. Oh, this will make a fine addition to my collection. Yeah, no, oh god, I will say like this movie has made some fire memes.
I agree.
God. But yeah, and then she whips out her lightsaber, and which is probably why the lady is like, "Who the fuck are you? Why do you have a
Glow
lightsaber?
rod.
You have a Rey has a yellow lightsaber, which okay, cool.
Yeah,
But the
we
worst
saw
thing,
this in the movie.
I don't care that Rey has a yellow lightsaber. What is annoying is that now I have to sit on all these like internet forums, and people are like, well, the meaning behind the yellow lightsaber that Rey had is actually that blah 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 blah. When it's like, no, shut up. It's just yellow.
Purple actually means balance of the Force.
Yeah, yellow means that she's dehydrated and needs to drink some water. Also, her lightsaber, again, little nitpick. It looked like a toy. It looked like a literal plastic toy.
I think it's made out of her staff.
I don't think so because the end didn't look like her staff, like the emitter part. It looked like Exar Kun's lightsaber.
Kate, what do you know? You watched this in 180p.
It didn't. Yeah, but I've seen pictures that are
I don't know.
not in 180p.
Also,
it looks too dark to be her staff. Her staff is a bit more silvery.
it was also night. It was like getting night. So no,
Okay,
her staff is like brown.
Okay, but that was black.
It was black.
It was black. The synopsis said it's black, and I remember it being black. Which is completely besides the point because a local asks her name, and she sees Luke's and Leia. Luke's and Leia. She sees Luke and Leia's Force Ghost, which was nice. And she says that her name is Rey Skywalker, and then she walks into the sunset, which was the only thing that I had spoiled for me, so I knew that Rey wasn't going to die.
Shocker.
Yeah. Well, she did die.
Thoughts on her taking the name Skywalker?
It was really lame.
I agree. She has no on-screen relationship with Leia aside from hugging her in like 5 lines of dialogue, and Luke was just a dick to her the whole time. So
yeah,
I don't understand why this is her family name.
Again, I would have preferred if she had just been like, "Oh, it's just Rey. My name's Rey."
I like people have pointed out about her keeping the name Palpatine and like reworking it.
No. So what? She would just like make an anagram like Rey Lapatine.
No, but like changing the name into something bad into something good, like the like final FU to Palpatine or something.
I don't like that because
I do.
Because I don't like her being a Palpatine.
Look, I don't like Rey having last name in general.
I'm like, yeah, my name's Rey Johnson.
But yeah. Oh wait, you wanted to talk about ghosts?
What was that?
You wanted to talk about the Force ghosts?
Yes. One of the big. It's not about Force ghosts. One of the big things that every like dweeb, and apologies if you get lumped in with these people, what every like dweeb wanted from this movie, and I'm gonna have to put on my dweeby nerd voice, Yeah, I want a vision where Anakin is flopping between being Anakin and Darth Vader. That would be really cool. And that didn't happen. And we don't see Anakin, which is fine because Hayden Christensen looks kind of like a depressed dad all the time now.
He does.
And I don't want to see his depressed dad face on screen.
No, me neither.
Unless he has his sick Jedi mullet.
You know what? I'll take that.
If
That's a nice trade-off.
If he came back and had his Jedi mullet, that'd be cool. Also, if Obi-Wan came back as a ghost, he would have to have his Jedi mullet.
I agree.
But no, I'm just glad that didn't happen. I didn't really. I wouldn't have been mad if Anakin would have shown up as a Force ghost, but I wasn't really like clamoring for it, I guess, because also the special edition change where Hayden Christensen is the Force ghost is pretty lame.
But to be fair, they just kind of photoshopped his head on that different scene.
They literally did that.
Yeah.
And it's not like they can get Sebastian Shaw to come back and
No.
Force ghost because
like I said earlier, my ideal situation here is all the Force ghosts popping up behind Rey and then like going into her, or like just all of them doing the same motion or whatever and stopping Palpatine.
You know, I guarantee that Samuel L. Jackson was like campaigning for that to happen.
Probably.
Because
the man talks about Mace Windu all the time.
Oh boy. I don't want to get into it, but I just to be spiteful, I hope he's not in Star Wars because he's trying way too hard to be in things that happened after he fucking died.
I don't think he should come back either.
But that's besides the point. I guess wrapping up, like overall thoughts, like again, like kind of, but like had we went through like again, just like reiterate, I thought this was the best of the sequel movies, in my opinion.
As I can't say that with that Force Awakens is really derivative, but I like some of the ideas it sets up, and despite fucking over the state of the galaxy and destroying Luke's in public and all that, and making Han depressed, honestly, I could have had Luke not been what he was Last Jedi, and I still have all those fuzzy feelings I felt watching Awakens that I can't get rid of, despite how hard I try. Sever my connection to it. So I think I still prefer Force Awakens over this, and I think it's also a competent movie because this one just has so many logistical contrivances and character arcs are just horse shit. And the ending is just a clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah.
But my current ranking is Force Awakens, this, and then Last Jedi at the bottom, which, I mean, I put Last Jedi even below Attack of the Clones. I hate it that much.
Oh, yeah, no, same. I guess, like, our feelings obviously have been spoken before this, so we don't really need to go back in depth, but, like, are you, like, what is kind of, like, your, like, it's probably a depressing question, but like, how are you feeling like about Star Wars, like currently?
Right now,
with this film having come out, and
I'm fucking depressed. This movie. Okay, so since I was a wee lad, I have strived to learn as much about Star Wars as I can. And so when you have the EU getting swiped, the timeline stuff being replaced with these movies, and these new rules and these new concepts and shit, it doesn't even feel like I'm a part of the same universe that I fell in love and invested so much time and money in. So it feels kind of like a slap in the face on it. And even The Mandalorian, which I enjoy, has some of the same problems as these movies with the rules of the Force and stuff, even though I would still die for Baby Yoda. But with this movie specifically, I'm glad this chapter is done with, because I don't want them ruining anything else, because they've already shit-stomped the previous two trilogies, and I just want to ignore this trilogy and let it die.
Fair.
But as far as the future of Star Wars goes, I'm interested in the Kenobi show because I think that has potential to be good. I want to see Ian McGregor with an actual good script. Clone Wars should be entertaining at least, even though they're milking Ahsoka to death.
Doubt it. That's just me being me.
Your turn, honestly.
I feel kind of similar. Although it is very interesting because obviously I was a young kid when the prequels were coming out. I was 4 when I was 3. I was like 3.5 when Phantom Menace came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was however old. When did Episode 2 come out? 2003 or 2002?
I think, yeah, 2.
Yeah, because there's 3 years between the prequel. Okay, so yeah, I was 3, 6, 9 when the prequels came out, and I saw them all. Well, I didn't see Episode 1 in theaters because I was 3. But I saw Attack of the Clones in theaters, and again, like I said, ever since Revenge of the Sith, I've seen every movie within like the first couple days with like my same group of friends that I have seen them with since the 5th grade. And it's very interesting because obviously I don't like the prequels as much as I did then. But it's kind of a sad like dichotomy, I guess, because I left all the prequel movies that I saw very happy, and I left Episode 7 very like bleh. Episode 8, I was very just upset leaving, and Episode 9, when I finished it, I was like, oh, so it's done.
Yeah, I felt so empty. Oh.
It was very interesting being able to be around like for the the final conclusion to like the Skywalker stuff, which I'm sure this is how everyone who watched Episode 3 felt.
Yeah.
But no, as far as Star Wars goes at the moment, I don't really care about the canon stories being told. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm sure they're good if you're into that timeline, but it's basically like telling me to read just a timeline or be interested in a timeline that I'm not. Again, like I liked The Mandalorian. Like you said, there were things I didn't like. Yeah, I'm just always cautiously optimistic that they're going to bring back some EU stories.
Yeah, me too. We're kind of in the position where older people were when the prequels were coming out, where the younger generation seems to like them, and the older generation's like really cynical about everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the current generation, like of people who were like my age when the prequels came out, it'll be interesting to see how they feel about it in 2030.
Yeah.
When they're kind of more grown up. Yeah, overall, I mean, I still love Star Wars. I still have a lot of stuff to read in the EU. But overall, this movie is far from the worst Star Wars movie.
That's true.
Yeah, unless you have anything else to say?
I liked Fallen Order. That was fun. I'm only sticking to like the mainstream-ish canon stuff because I don't feel invested enough to read the comics or the books. I just need. We have so much technology, and Star Wars is putting out new stuff. It feels familiar, but it's not what I love exactly. And
yeah,
it's so depressing. But that's.
Then we'll leave it on that note, unless you have anything to say to lift us up.
The entire cast hates these movies, I guess. So that's funny.
Yeah. But no, closing out, I can always bring us up because the next video will be back on our Star Wars Legacy read-through and reviews. So
whenever
that is, probably before 2030, I would guarantee it.
Yeah, before the new decade. Before the
Yeah.
new decade. It'll be good.
But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed our review. It's not as long as 10 issues of Legacy, but we hopefully covered everything very well. And until we see you the next time.
Bye, guys.
Oh shit, I'm gonna have to edit this. Oh god, I spelt Craig wrong. Oh fuck, I'm not gonna have to actually figure out how to do this. Oh